bloodsuckers.
As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell,
Join us!
you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil.
We have such sights to show you.
A veil that is beyond our own comprehension.
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
That's right, it's episode 195, and we are returning to the infamous horror house. Actually, no, we're not really. Amityville. So if you guys haven't heard before, me and Rebecca Reinhardt actually did an episode together where we did parts 1 through 3 together in one episode. So I'll put a link down below for you guys to check that out if you want to listen to that. It's been a little while since I talked about these. These are completely separate from the others.
4 and 5, right?
Yes, 4 and 5 we're going to be talking about today. It's Amityville Horror, The Evil Escapes from 1989 and
Amityville Curse from 1990.
Yep. So one of these is definitely not like the other. So you guys are going to want to stick around for that. If you saw my post on my personal Facebook page, you probably know.
And neither of them are like the others.
Yeah. Oh, God, no. Yeah, there definitely is a point in any franchise where it starts to go downhill. And yeah, you might find a few good or so bad it's good films in those mix of franchise that you get because, you know, one after the other, you know, it's pretty ridiculous sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So, and, you know, I haven't watched the first 3. Christina did.
Recently, yeah.
So she's going to give her order on that. Like, why don't you go ahead and just tell us which ones you like the most out of the 3 in order?
Honestly, I think they're in order.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't think these are the best films ever.
Really?
The first one, yeah. The first
The first one scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, when you're a kid, but you watch it now.
There's some scenes in that remind me of Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a feel that's in that. Like, the window scene with the eyes is like that in City of the Living Dead. Anyway.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But I don't know, like, the third one, what was that, 3D?
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked that one.
More than the second one?
No, I liked the second one too because the second one was like crazy with
Obviously.
the fucking brother and all that. Like,
it was really cool how they were like in love. I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, what we're talking about in the second movie, the sister and the brother, spoiler alert,
right.
He's infested with evil. So of course, evil does evil, what evil does. Right. And apparently has sex with his sister.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to reference it to Flowers in the Attic.
I mean, if you think about it, true evil would be something like that. As fucked up as I didn't like and enjoy watching it and how weird and uncomfortable it made me in the second one. But
right.
Would you, so you like the first one? What would you give that one a score of? Just out of curiosity, the first one.
I don't know. Well, I don't think any of these are above a 5.
Oh, you're kind of, all right. Okay. Well, you heard it here first, so it's all downhill from here, guys.
It's all downhill from here.
Anyway, so how's your week been? What have you been doing? Anything special?
We finished Twilight Zone Season 2.
Right. And what did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, they had some not every season's great, and they always have.
I like the first one better.
Did you?
Yeah, the first season was better to me, although that's the more SJW one that everybody's all upset about. Although the second one had some pretty obvious ones. But I like kind of just trying to figure out what each episode represents.
Right.
Like what they're trying to say, what the parable or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right. And I don't think they have to. I don't think all the episodes represent something. I don't think there's an underlining thing for each one. Some of them are just weird.
Yeah, true. But I think, I don't think they're as obligatory as we might think. They might have a purpose. We just don't tune into that specific thing. But I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I mean, is it better than the original? No.
Right.
Of course not.
Right.
Is it better than the 80s? I don't know. Maybe? Didn't they do a 90s too? I don't remember. I know they did like a couple different ones.
Is that the one with Dan Aykroyd or something? Was in the beginning of one of those 90s?
No, that's the movie you're thinking of.
Oh, I'm thinking of the movie.
Yeah, where he turns into a werewolf.
Oh, isn't that
You want to see something really scary? That movie
wasn't that. I didn't realize all the fucking shit in that movie until we watched that cursed film.
Yeah,
that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was a dark spot. I'd never realized. I mean, I knew about that, but I didn't know the extent of which he was like, whatever.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But what else do we got a new review up. I watched this movie called Blood Vessel about vampires on a boat. I keep saying it like that because it's more than that, but if it was just vampires on the boat, my idea would be like, oh, they're just ravaging everybody, like it's just crazy. It's a little bit different. There's a lot of mixed opinions on the movie online. I had someone online that was like really, you gave it that score? I gave it this. And I was like, nice. I was like, that happens.
That happened.
Like, what do you want me to say, dude? You want me to lie?
You both have different minds.
Yeah, I'm not allowed. Yeah. I don't think they meant anything by it. I thought it was funny. I was just like, yeah, balloons. Like, I just felt like saying something completely obligatory. But yeah, if you guys want to check that out, please do support that page. I'm trying to hit like 2,000 by the end of the year.
You're almost there.
Yeah, we're at like almost, I think we're at 1,400 subscribers, so 1,400. But hopefully we can reach it by, the end of the year. I'll try. I'm going to try.
You'll do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it together. You, us, them, listeners. Anyway, guys, I think it might be that time.
What time is that?
Horrorshots! All right, guys, so we picked one of the movies that we're going to be talking about for the shot, as always, for our horror shots. Now, we didn't make them for us to take today, but we are going to take it. We still need to pick up one of the ingredients, but we're calling this one an apple lampshade. And that is based off the movie Amityville Horror, The Evil Escapes, which is part 4. Now, why did we pick that? Why did we pick this title? And, well, should I say the ingredients first?
You should say the ingredients.
Okay.
No.
It's a really simple shot, guys. Like, all you have to do is basically turn out the lights after you mix the ingredients. You want to see what you're doing, obviously. What you're going to do is you're going to mix half brandy, half apple pucker into a shot, and then it's done. All you got to do is put a lampshade on your head and punch your sister, and that's a fucking apple lampshade. I don't know. Fuck you. No, you're supposed to take it with the lights off, and then you turn it back on, and then evil invades your house. Because you're drunk, and you probably did some bad things in your life, and you're now paying for it with all the sins that you've made. And Amityville.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, but it's a really simple shot, and I'm sure it tastes fine. It tastes pretty good. We just didn't have it right here because we don't have the
we don't have the pucker.
The pucker, yeah. So we will. This week. I know we haven't been taking the shots on the thing. Not that everybody's like waiting for it or anything, but I'm sure somebody noticed, But we'll definitely try to take the shot for this Thursday or Friday. I think it's Friday we usually do.
Probably Friday.
But yeah, if you guys would like to try an apple lampshade, all you got to do is go to longlivethevoid.com and check out our hashtag horror shot section now. That's it for horror shots. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into our flesh and potatoes of Amityville Horror, The Evil Escapes from 1989 and
The Amityville Curse from 1990.
Right now.
Also, by the way, guys, if you notice, I'm a little stuffed up right now. My allergies are fucked up. I'm not COVID positive for anything. I'm not dying, okay? Anyway, so we're going to kick it off with the first movie, which Christina has all the information on.
Amityville Horror, The Evil Escapes from 1989.
Part 4.
Part 4.
Well, you don't have to say it, I'm just saying it.
The demonic forces in the haunted Long Island house escape through a mystical lamp which finds its way to a remote California mansion where the evil manipulates a little girl by manifesting itself in the form of her dead father.
Scary.
This is like the longest sentence of my fucking life.
Yeah, I've never been so scared of lamps in my life.
The tagline for this movie is, "From the creators of the original Amityville comes the most terrifying chapter." It's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. The writer and the director, or one of the writers and the main director, is Sander Stern.
He also goes by Sandy, I noticed in the extras.
And he was a writer on the original Amityville from the 1979. So
the screenplay, yeah.
Right. And then he's done a ton of TV movies and ton of TV shows.
Right.
Another writer on this film is John
Jingleheimer Schmitz?
John G. Jones.
His name's my name, too. I mean, never mind.
I don't understand.
She doesn't even know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
All right.
There is a novel in development called Amityville Legacy 3D that he wrote that says it's in development. He also did Amityville 1992, It's About Time, and The Darkness from 1995.
Huh.
Okay, there's a lot.
Is that the Anna Paquin movie?
I have no idea.
It's called The Darkness?
The Darkness from 1995. Yeah, it probably is.
Okay. That's a weird movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's all right. It's actually pretty good.
Okay. Well, this movie stars Patty Duke, who plays Nancy. She was in Valley of the Dolls. I think that's what she's most known for. And The Miracle Worker. Jane Wyatt, who plays Alice, the grandmother. She's best known for her role in Father Knows Best. Have you ever seen that show from 1950?
I remember in the name. I don't know about the...
I don't remember.
And didn't Patty Duke have a show, too?
I didn't see one.
The Patty Duke show?
Was that a different Patty Duke?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let me look.
I don't remember seeing it. I don't even remember.
There was a show called The Patty Duke Show from 1963 to 66, but it is the same one.
Oh, it is? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I missed it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's where she's mostly known for, actually.
Oh, I was thinking Valley.
Apparently she was like the little girl, I guess. Patty Lane. I don't know.
Jane Wyatt, who plays Alice, the grandmother, she was best known for a role in Father Knows Best. She was also in Lost Horizon from 1937. She was in Star Trek 4. And she, of course, was in a ton of 80s TV movies. She died at the age of 96, and she was in her late 70s, early 80s when she made this movie.
Huh, okay.
This is crazy. She looked good for her age in this movie. Okay, Frederick Lane, who plays Father Kibler. Oh, like the elf.
No, that's Keebler.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, he was in Ordinary People from 1980. He was also a regular on the Dallas show from the 80s. He was also in Men in Black, Dark Knight Rises, and he most recently was in Westworld, the HBO show. Lou Hancock, who plays Peggy, the housekeeper. She was Henrietta from Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
Someone's in my fruit cellar.
She was also in one of our favorite
That
movies.
wasn't her voice, though, I don't think.
She was also in one of our favorite movies, Miracle Mile.
Yeah.
She played Lucy.
She was the mom, yeah, the grandma, yeah.
She was also a regular on Walkus, Texas Ranger.
Okay.
Brandy Gold, who plays Jessica, the little sister. She was a child actor, and this was her last movie. She was also in that V TV show, you know, the one with the aliens.
Yeah.
And she was on Days of Our Lives, but she went on to be a talent agent in Hollywood.
It's always weird saying this, but she wasn't all that particularly good.
She was like a kid.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad saying that, right? But like, she really wasn't.
She had the look. She had the look.
What kind of world could you do? Oh. She's got the love. Anyway.
Okay, Zoe Trilling, who plays Amanda. She was in Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Dr. Giggles,
Yeah.
Night Terrors, Hellbound, Night of the Demons 2, and Leprechaun 3. This one likes to be in sequels.
Yeah, I think I remember her from Night of the Demons. That's what I was like, she looks so familiar. And I was like, oh, that's right. It's because she had different colored hair.
Right. And then finally we have Aaron Eisenberg, who plays Brian, the brother.
Mm-hmm.
This was his first movie, but he has gone on to do a lot of Star Trek. Trek. Like
he was Nog.
Yeah.
Car.
Deep Space Nine. He was in Renegades. He's been on Star Trek Online, all this other stuff. He was also in Puppet Master 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a couple Tales from the Crypt episodes.
I remember him being kind of a big deal back in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I would always see him in movies and stuff anyway.
Oh, nice.
He was in the horror show too.
Oh, he was.
House 3? Yeah.
Anyway, how did you like Amityville Horror: The Evil's Escapes?
Oh, man. Well, this was...
The Lampy Lamp.
That was a movie. You know what I mean? It was a movie. No, it's obviously the more schlock and S-big, so bad it's good category Amityville. Small budget, not so good acting, ridiculous, laughable scenes, zero atmosphere, straight to video, pretty much TV movie. But I think it's better than that. You know, when I may be saying a lot of negative things, but it's just a lot of fun to laugh at. You know, which is odd because the director is the guy who wrote the screenplay for the original movie, which you would think, wow, you're bringing in royalty here for this one. But it is nice to see a few familiar faces in horror, like Lou Hancock from Evil Dead 2, which, by the way, I didn't realize she was so fucking tall. She's ginormously tall, like in this movie. And I guess maybe it's just the other actors are smaller, maybe.
I was going to say the other actors look short.
That may be why.
Yeah.
She was like towering over everyone. But anyways, I had a lot of laughs on this one. One scene in particular that was just like, I just couldn't stop laughing because it was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, God, it was so great, though, because of that. Like, I just thought it was funny. But this one's just odd. There's not many bloody deaths to swoon at. There's no gore, really. A little bit of blood. But if you like the first 2 or 3, it's a bit different. It's played serious, but you can't take it seriously whatsoever. It's weird, too, because these aren't bad actors. I think they just weren't their best takes.
Right.
Also, the other idea that the evil escapes is kind of a controversial idea to take it out of the notorious house. I mean, that's the best thing about Amityville, is it not? Is the fucking house.
Right. It's the franchise. It's what it's about.
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm not even sure if they just felt like the franchise was tapped out at this point or what, because I thought that was a pretty terrible idea. It's a great idea for a bad movie, but it's a terrible idea for a good one. What were you going to say?
At least the house was in the movie.
Yeah. Was it?
Yes, it was in the beginning. And they also, when the priest...
Oh, that's right. No, but it wasn't the house, though. It's a fake house.
Yeah, but I mean, the lore is there. Like, you know, like, oh, that's the Amityville house. If you see a house like that with the windows, you know what house that is.
Well, if you've been in that house before, I mean, there's been different changes and stuff, but... You know, the one that they shot in, the original, is pretty notorious for, like, different parts of the house. The one they shot in this one, it was just so lame. It was like, oh, it's a house. Like, you know, one of those, you know, cookie cutter homes.
No one will know the difference.
Yeah, it's a house. It's scary. They got priests coming in there. It's obviously the Amityville house. Anyway... I don't know what they were thinking with the fucking lamp idea, but the music in this one is, whatever. It's very...
TV movie.
Very typical. Like, not very good at all. It didn't exactly help to bring any of the feels in this fucking so bad it's good film. The end, of course, is even more silly. Still, I think this one has a lot of charm to it, and we really did enjoy watching it together.
We did.
I'd probably give this one a 6.5 on the S-Big scale for entertainment only. If it had gore, it'd probably be higher. Like if they had a lot of gore in this one, I'd probably like it at like an 8 or something like that, just for laughs and like silliness. But if you want scares from this movie, you're definitely going to want to stand clear of this, because it's void of that, in my opinion. But it's still an entertaining watch as it kind of folds and falls apart on itself. So it's not going to scare you in any way. Just go for the lulz and you'll be fine. It is also available on Tubi TV for free, by the way. So if you're curious and you want to check it out, I'd highly recommend checking it out on Tubi. And for those new listeners out there, S-Big means so bad it's good. And I have a different scaling that I give to those movies for entertainment value only and laughs. Like, how do you rate Troll 2 to be anything but a number 2 on a movie scale of all movies? So right. I have the S-Big scale is what I call it, and I give it a 6.5 for that reason. So what do you think, Christina? What about you?
Okay, so I'm not going to do the S-Big scale because I didn't go in with those expectations.
Right.
Because I had just watched the previous 3, and yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But anyway.
So she hated it.
At first, I thought, okay, I kind of hated it. At first, when we first started watching it, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I was getting really pissed off because I didn't understand why it wasn't in the house. I don't understand what the fuck they were doing. I don't understand who all these people are because it's like, there's this lamp and there's these priests, right? There's these priests and then there's a yard sale and then this chick buys the thing and then she sends it to her sister and then there's this family moving into this sister's who's
it is a little confusing.
Like, oh my god, there's so much fucking going on. I don't understand.
And also I think you're all valid points as to why most people might not like this one.
Right.
But
right.
If you're into those kind of bad films, then
exactly. And it had to, but wasn't this like your second or third?
Oh, I've seen it a bunch of I think I saw it on Cinemax the first time I watched it.
So I'm sure like if you did force me to watch this again, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more because I didn't even realize you kept mentioning the lamp. You're like, oh, you're gonna get a kick out of this lamp, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, a lamp? And then I'm like, oh my god, and that lamp was hideous. I want to know like where they came up with the concept.
They didn't talk about it.
That is so weird.
I was hoping for it, yeah.
Yeah, because it was like a tree. It was like a tree with a head and arms. So, and I think we were talking about making references to like Jesus's cross or something.
Right, yeah, like limp dick Jesus cross.
That's what we should have called the shot.
No, Jesus. Oh, sacrilegion.
Anyway, I think, so to mention the acting on your point, I think the adults, like they are good actors. We know they're good actors, but the everyone who was under 18 years old, I don't think they were that good of actors.
No.
At all. And I didn't.
They were sufficient.
Yeah, they were just there.
They were just average.
And like I said, there was just too much going on. It's like, what are they trying to do with this movie? They have priests, they have a possessed child, they have this possessed lamp. Like, what the fuck else did I write down here? Oh, the kids moving in. It was like all this stuff. And I gave it a 3 out of 10 because it just annoyed me. But I mean, you're right. There are funny parts, and we're gonna go over them. Yeah. But it just, I'll be fine if I never see this one again.
Maybe my scale is like, if you half it, that's what the average is for the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's some of these films, man, they're just so fucking entertainment. I really actively look for them.
Right.
Like, So Bad It's Good has become one of my favorite, like hobbies of it's like a sidecar hobby of like the hobby of horror movies, which really isn't a hobby if you ask me.
This is also why we get movies at the dollar store,
right?
Because you know what I mean.
This is a way of life, okay? This isn't a costume, Christina.
So I know what movie that's
I mean, we spend a lot of money on movies
and time. Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so, I mean, it is pretty much a big deal.
It is.
Don't you ever.
Well, I wasn't.
Not in the Lord's house of horror.
I don't know what you're going with that.
I'm just saying, like, this is like our special sacred place.
Sacred place.
Yeah, we're right by the movies. You're fucking putting them down right now. No, I'm just kidding.
How was I putting them down?
I'm totally kidding.
I wasn't putting them down.
I'm exaggerating, okay?
I was just saying, like, this is why we get the cheap movies, because usually there's gems in there.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. So, I don't know what it is, but for me, it's like always 80s and 90s that I like the most.
Oh, you said you like 90s?
Well, I mean, when it comes to So Bad It's Good, there's a few that dip into the early 90s that
I see. Like
that
this
work.
one. Okay,
yeah.
like this next one.
That fit the bill. Anyway, I know I mentioned the name. You guys are probably already making fucking shot games out of every fucking time I say fucking so bad it's good. And I know it's an overused word, but fuck you. Too bad it's good. How about that? No, it's kidding. Or awfully good. That's another one. Or terribly good. Yeah. Anyway, so we do have some trivia, and I would love to hear what you guys think of that movie if you've seen it before, or if you intend to watch it in the comment section down below. So let us know what you think about this movie. It is one that saved the week, in my opinion, because the next one we're going to talk about may have a little bit of a different picture. Hint. But if you don't want anything spoiled, we are going to talk about some of the trivia and some of our scenes and things like that. So here is your warning. So this was a TV movie first for NBC, and it became kind of like a straight to video movie right away. Like I said, I saw it on Cinemax, and I remember seeing it on Cinemax.
What's with them doing TV movies of franchise films? Because they did that with Omen. Because
they feel back in the day, the way it was is that you would try to PG everything up so that the mass population would buy into it or watch
ratings,
it. Right. Because the name sells enough that it pushes through the mainstream to the mainstream, and then people can enjoy it, But these movies ended up being horrible, and most horror movies were pretty bad back in the day.
Yeah, because you couldn't have gore or anything in it.
Right. And
they didn't know how to do the ambiance thing.
Some of them are good. Like some of the Stephen King ones were enjoyable to a degree, but it's just one of those things.
Okay.
Now we get the fucking glory of fucking TV shows being rated R if they want, and I love that.
See, and I remember when they first started doing the rating system for TV, and everyone was just like, "Oh, it's horrible, blah blah." And I'm like, "What the fuck is your problem, dude? We can watch MA, mature, like they can go they can push it far."
They really pushed it far with the fucking Walking Dead because they slammed that guy in the head with a fucking baseball bat and everybody was fucking appalled by it. Like it was just too dark. And I'm like,
but it's
really?
rated MA.
I'm like, dude, they've been cutting zombie heads off like all the time. Well, yeah, it's different though. That was a living being.
Living person, yeah.
I remember that. Anyway, back to Amityville Horror. The Evil Escapes. Some of the trivia on that. Sander Steven, or who as Sandy, the director, said that they actually bought a book in order to use this story because the original script he thought was not very scary. Mm-hmm. Ironically, it was not really scary. Here. So no offense, Sandy. I'm sorry. But they, apparently it was called something else, but he couldn't recall what it was supposed to be, but it was a book by John G. Jones that was a collection of short stories, one that was never adapted to film and a new story that was made out of it. So they kind of took elements from it to make this, I guess. I don't know. It's a little confusing. Mm-hmm. The house that they shot at was in Santa Clarita. The outside that they show of the house.
Oh, the front of the house?
Is different than the interior shots. Mm-hmm. In fact, the house in the very beginning of the movie, what you were talking about, they had to build a facade over the front of it to try to make it look like Amityville in some regard. Uh-huh. So they built a fake front for it.
See, that's well, they have to because you can't, that everybody knows that house.
Right. Yeah, you have some pretty characteristic, eyes glowing at the top, those are really important things.
Yeah, the triangular windows.
But in no point in time in either of these movies did I ever once feel like it was Amityville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, they're barely there.
The house that they use where they moved to where they go to California with the lamp is the exterior shots that they used for the whole movie. And they were allowed to shoot out front of this old woman's house and have the actors enter and exit it for the shots that they needed, but they were never allowed to film inside. There was a funny story on this that before they even got that house, the director tried talking to the older woman who was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing it. I'm never going to do it again. And he was like, again, she's like, yeah. Some producer came out here and I told him I didn't want them ruining my rose bushes, because I take care of them. And he was like, yeah, they were really well pruned and everything. Uh-huh. And they trampled on my rose bushes and I'll never let him again. And he was like, well, who was the producer? And she was like, oh, it's Barry Bernardi, which is the producer of this film. So coincidentally, he was reusing that house
because he knew that house and he knew that house would
right.
break, so.
And so the director's wife went in and found this out too and talked to her about letting them film there. And they didn't let her know, the woman know, that he was the producer on this film. So they banned him from the set of those shots so that she wouldn't get mad. I thought that was funny.
I wonder what she did when she found out. Well, I wonder if her rose
she probably
bush
never
got
did.
Fucked up.
Well, he said that he liked them and they took good care of them when they were there. So him and his wife, because his wife was also a set designer or something, or she was part of it.
She probably knew how important her house was to the
right.
owner.
And he had a lot of his family work. His son's in the movie. His son worked on the editing. His other son. Also, Tom Richmond, the cinematographer for this movie, he did the movie Hard Rock Zombies and Chopping Mall. He said that he felt like he lost how to do anything on this movie because he just didn't know what he was doing. It was his first big time TV movie.
Oh.
And he'd only filmed movies, so he didn't really know what he was doing. And so a lot of the director and other people took care of the regular cinematography shots with the lighting and shit, which if you watch the movie, you can tell it's very lightly, very brightly lit.
Oh, yeah.
Remember I even mentioned it.
I remember you mentioned the house because you're like, oh, that house was on a set. Look how well it's lit.
Well, I didn't say how well it was. I said it's too lit.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was making the house stand out at night.
No, the lighting was kind of bad on it, to be honest with you. And he even said it too. He was he was very, very straightforward about all of this. He mentioned that there was a lot of really bad bright lighting for a horror movie, which he said there was no one to argue with him about anything or tell him if it was too much or too little. He had no one to answer to.
Oh, that's weird.
So, but he said he also had to work twice the speed of any other movie that he'd ever worked on.
Oh, because of the budget.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because they said that it was about less than $2 million for the budget. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty honest with him. He was pretty honest, and I've seen him in some other extras. I'm pretty sure recently of a movie that we watched, and I can't remember which one it was. It might have been the Night Train to Terror. Dance with me, dance with me.
I remember.
Everybody's got something to do. Everybody loves you. All right, sorry guys. Anyway, we got some scenes to talk about. There was a gaggle of priests in the very beginning.
I remember.
They entered the accursed home, ready for some serious showdown with evil. They got haunted kitchens, chairs, lamps. Oh my! Regular old Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse right here. That's like what we did in the third 1 through 3. Yeah, it really does. When the windows go up and down and the doors start slamming like that, too many. It's very poltergeisty. It seems a little hokey, right?
Yes, it does. Trying to scare you. Oh, the walls were bleeding. The kitchen started on fire.
That.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Oh, I do remember the fires in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's why I said haunted kitchen, because it's just ridiculous. It's like, no, don't. It's like it's getting pinned down by good. Like the priest got in a fucking
corner
wrestling move or some fucking shit, But yeah, one of the youngest priests, he gets fucking thrown against the wall by this ugly lamp that gets sold at the Amityville Horror estate sale
of doom.
I would totally go to that yard sale.
Me
Sometimes
too.
I go to estate sales just to see if I could find that one weird object that is calling to me, just so I could see if it's haunted. You know what I mean?
Well, they did that in that movie with the Dybbuk box too, where they go to the estate sale and then they buy the Dybbuk box.
Oh, but didn't they not know what it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
of course.
Okay.
That's how it always
No,
starts.
I was saying I want to know what it is because that's why I'm going to buy it.
Well, this old woman buys it and she cuts her finger on it, which of course later on her finger's all fucked up. It looks like a Jimmy Dean sausage. That's what I kept saying.
It was disgusting.
I was like, show me that sausage, bitch.
She fingered herself so hard.
Christina.
That's fucking gross.
And you say I'm too much.
You're too much. It's too much.
Jesus Christ. She's got too much pancake syrup on her sausage. Well, she sends it to her sister as one of her silly jokes between the two of them, but the joke's on Jimmy Dean. She's possessed. Her little finger kills her pretty much in one of the worst deaths in the whole fucking movie I've ever seen. Like,
Really? Oh my God, her death scene?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. She was just like, she took a deep breath and she was just like, and then she just laid there. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah. I think she farted so hard she passed out. Well, she had that plastic tent around her head, so maybe she huffed it.
She was like quarantined because they're like, she has tendonitis.
The fart came up her and got trapped in the plastic shell. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I don't remember. It's the lamp. What'd you say? The lamp shows up at sister's house.
Yeah. Mom and her two children move into old Dancock, California, into their grandmother's house, who's the sister of the woman who got her finger cut.
And then the lamp starts doing weird shit.
Well, the family is moving there because the father died and she can't take care of the kids, so they have to stay there and sort of like until they can get back on their feet. Mm-hmm. And then of course, that's when all the weird shit starts happening in the house. Like the mom sees the dead husband, the child daughter sees him too. And, the mom burns her hand on the kettle for some reason. And someone put the fucking bird parakeet in the toaster oven. Like, God damn.
Fuck you, lamp.
All within like 2 days, all this stuff is happening.
That's because this lamp is
evil.
so stupid.
So stupid.
I don't know how the parakeet got in there because like they had this like when they put that thing over the top of the birds so that they can sleep, right? So that the sunshine doesn't wake them up and they start tweeting too much. How the fuck did it get out? They're like, oh, it must have gotten out. Like, oh yeah, it climbed out through the door. Oh, down. No.
Well, she was saying, oh, I must have left the door open. But the cover was on it, you dumb bitch.
Maybe it was a dog before and they just wrote in a parakeet because they were like, we can't fit it in the easy oven.
We can't. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. You don't fuck with
It's
dogs
almost like kind of like the
that.
parakeet kind of reminds me of Poltergeist too.
Does it? I don't remember.
Was it a parakeet? I don't know.
I don't remember. We should watch that again. Poltergeist?
Oh, yeah. Then the young priest who got wall fucked by the lamp. He's up and he's pressing to make sure that nobody has that lamp.
Oh, so now he's in like investigation mode, which is another point thing of the movie.
Which is way too much in this movie.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, I gotta find the lady. Why isn't she picking up her phone? She's in the hospital. Oh,
yeah, it's like these 10 minutes.
Oh, the neighbor. I ran into the neighbor. Oh, Jesus Christ.
10-minute segments of him trying to figure out whether or not he should go to the house. Like, what the fuck? Just go.
Right.
But he, obviously the lamp was sold at the estate sale to the woman, so they have to track her down, and then they find out she's dead, and then they find out that she sent the lamp to somebody else, her sister.
And they're not picking up the phone, and they're not getting the telegrams.
No, they couldn't pick up the phone
because of evil.
But the young boy son of the mom is downstairs messing around with the cat, and I'm like, they show a shot of this chainsaw, and I was like, oh, this is gonna get messy. Like I was really excited for that to happen, and then Christina's like, I'm done. I remember you're like, I'm done. And I was like, just wait, just hold on.
Because wasn't the cat down there too?
Yeah, he was holding it. And then I put it next to the chainsaw. And I was like,
he's like, oh, look at this chainsaw. And then he picks up the chainsaw and it starts going off by itself. And then everything's going batshit crazy in the basement.
Right.
Batshit fucking crazy. And guy's acting is like ridiculous because he's like, oh, I can't, what do I do?
Well, this was like one of my favorite parts too, because you might think that, the cat was going to get shredded by the chainsaw, but this is what happened made me fucking laugh my ass off for like a minute straight. Like while this whole fucking thing was happening, and even after actually, because it's like this really long scene. But the chainsaw basically comes to life on its own. He's pretending to use it on the table to be like a curious kid that's like,
Yeah, I'm shooting a gun.
He's like making noises for the chainsaw, and then all of a sudden it just starts up. And it's really funny because like it starts wrecking everything. And like you can see they have these cutaway shots to behind his head, and it's like another person.
Totally.
Like another guy, like a shorter guy, older man with the same haircut, chainsawing the shells and wrecking everything. And then the maid, Peggy, aka Henrietta, and Grandma come running down and think she's doing it on purpose, which is even more funny. And the chainsaw tries to kill Granny, and old Henrietta says, "Someone's in my fruit cellar!" Not really, but...
Might as well.
But she blocks the, like, Peggy lady who's Henrietta and Evil Dead 2 blocks the chainsaw with a crowbar by standing in front of it as it's about to slash Grandma, and it brings it to a stop, and they're all yelling at the kid like, "Why were you doing that? You're out of control." Because they make it very clear early on that the kids are making it a strain on Grandma and her personal lifestyle.
And her being alone in a huge mansion.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah. It's the opposite of what it normally is, which is like where families like ship their grandmas off to like
nursing homes.
Yeah, to get COVID or something like that. But sorry.
I'm just trying to hold back the laughter.
Yeah, I know. It's inappropriate. But the priest that found the woman who sent the lamp to her sister, she dies of tetanus. Mm-hmm. That's what they said. He's like, "I've never seen a case like this before." The doctor.
He said it just like that. That was good.
I don't know. I don't remember. One of the other great scenes is when the handyman kid stops by the house to pick up the demonic tea kettle, the chainsaw, and move the lamp into the attic because they've figured out that maybe the appliances have gone bad. So they're trying to get rid of them or fix them because, you know, that's how you fix demons.
Yeah. You know, it's all the appliances' fault.
Right. Definitely. Because
it's not the father that the little girl sees and she's in bed with a fever and... being crazy. And
there's the younger daughter, the older daughter, and the son who come with their mom to Grandma's house. Mm-hmm. The older daughter keeps giving this handyman kid the like bashful, playful eyes. And she's like in the kitchen, like cutting up something, and she turns on the dispenser and it stops, the garbage disposal. And she's all reaching in there after turning it off. And he's like, "Hey, don't you know you don't stick your hand in there? You have to secure the switch before with a piece of tape before you do that."
Not just that, but have you ever put your hand in a fucking garbage disposal?
I have.
You have?
I live dangerously.
You are fucking nuts. I never.
That's why you dated me.
I always use a spoon or something. I've watched too many horror movies. Like, you don't put your fucking hand in a garbage disposal.
But, you know, whatever. She had it in there, but supposedly you're not supposed to stick your hand in a disposal, period. But
right.
So the funny thing I loved about this scene is that he's like, "Here, I'll do it." And he secures it with a piece of tape, clocks it up, and then sticks his hand in, which you're not supposed to do. Like, and nobody has a secure piece of tape. I mean, I guess it makes sense. She's like, "So what's there to do around town here?" And he's like, "Bowling." And I'm like, "Well, I guess he's not bowling anymore." It chews up his fucking hand and he screams and it's all spraying her face. Which that kid was the director's son.
Oh, really?
And the blood was not in the TV version of the film, of course, as this was to be a TV movie. But, of course, we got the blood version in this cut of the Vinegar Syndrome release.
Oh, nice.
So...
that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That's cool that they actually did that footage of the blood.
Right. They didn't know who did it.
Really?
The director said he didn't know who did the shot. Huh. So somebody else did it afterwards or whatever to add in the blood or whatever.
That's weird.
Right. He lives, of course, in the story, and they just don't understand why their appliances have gone maximum overdrive on all of them, apparently. Mm-hmm. They still suspect the appliances, but... the young daughter, Jessie, is up in the attic talking to the lamp, and she's like, "Look, Mommy, it's Daddy." Like, that's an ugly fucking daddy.
Yeah.
Did you plug your dad in? Because He doesn't seem too smart. He seems a little dim. I'll stop.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrible. Jesus Christ.
It's pretty funny though.
No, it's not.
Podafona.
The mom basically drags her out and is like, she's slapped by the little girl. And I was like, damn. Like,
slapped her hard.
She did. I would have thrown her down the stairs.
I would have busted out that.
What are you doing?
Chainsaw. You should have busted out the chainsaw.
I would not throw a child down the stairs. Calm down, everyone. This is not the climate, Alex, to be making jokes like that. But they decide to lock the attic door because shit's getting too weird, and they suspect it's to be the lamp, but it's not really until the end that they really fucking unleash their...
Shit hits the fan.
Shit hits the lamp.
The lamp fan.
There's this weird scene where the older daughter is like brushing her teeth and her teeth are black. So they call a plumber who goes down to the basement to check the pipes, and Evil traps him under a board, and then a hand spits out one of the pipes and then just black shit all over his face.
So was that hand supposed to be that repairman's hand? But it went through the garbage disposal. I'm so
There
confused.
was one finger missing, I noticed, but the rest, it looked like an intact full hand.
Yeah.
It's like, really all the way down to the fucking wrist? Like, he wasn't leaning on it. Like, it would have probably mashed his fingers, but not taking his whole hand.
His whole hand in one chunk. Like,
I thought that was funny.
it was funny.
He dies from the evil black shit that spills on his face. And then the evil is so powerful that it can drive the fucking work van away down the street and wherever it's
by
going.
itself to make it look like the plumber left.
Probably went to go get lunch, you know, because the house was pretty quiet after that. Like, yeah, let's go on down to fucking Wendy's or something, get some sandwiches.
And then Peggy makes lunch for Jessica because Jessica's sick in bed, right?
Well, they call her Jessie or Jessica, but yeah.
Whatever. And then Peggy gets lured. Or wait, no, she walked into Peggy's room and it was like trashed. It was like
crayon drawings all over the wall
and everything. It just looked like somebody like ransacked it.
Right.
And then Peggy gets lured up to the attic where the Mr. Lamp is.
Where she gets it on with the lamp and gets autoerotic asphyxiation with the lamp. Well, maybe it's bi-erotic.
I don't know.
Yeah, because like if they're playing together.
She was strangled. The lamp strangled her.
Right.
With its cord.
But then they say that she died of a heart attack, not the cord.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you see the marks around the neck of a dead person?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, strangled her with non-science.
It's these fucking cops. That's why.
All right.
They're not doing their goddamn job. You know what I mean? They're just trying to like.
All right. Okay. She's always got to add in one of those little things in there. She really loves that. The young priest finally shows up, and Jessie, the little girl, seems like she's in on it with the lamp. Like she knows what's going on. She's sort of semi-possessed, even though she's like the worst possessed child I've ever seen.
Even worse possessed than that Alice movie we watched.
I feel bad saying this, but she was a shit actor. And like, you could tell, like, she's a child. So it's like, I don't know. She's just not a good child actor.
Right. You're like that American Idol guy.
There was this scene where she looks at her mom or her sister and smiles and then looks up. And it's like, yeah, that was really ineffective.
Right.
But it was, it's kind of a wink and a nod that something's up. But they basically find Jessie or Jessica as alone drawing murder pictures with her crayons. And they're like, why would you draw a thing like that? And she's like, 'cause I like it. She's like, where's Peggy? She went home. And then they realize that she's full of shit and they're being lied to. And they're all like, who told you she went home? She's like, Daddy? No. That's what she says. And she's like,
oh, the mom said that.
Yeah. I was like, that was so bad. Then the son finds Peggy in the attic dead, apparently from the heart attack, That's when the mom decides that she's going to meet up with the priest, because the priest has been trying to call. He sent a telegram that got thwarted by the evil because it's so powerful. It just slid it behind the couch next to the banister. Mm-hmm. And then he put a note in the mailbox, so that apparently didn't have enough power to check the mailbox. Mm-hmm. So she meets the young priest at a bar where he tells her everything, and then they head back. And while the oldest daughter, she gets hit in the head, and Jesse runs into the attic and is locked in. So the priest breaks in with an axe to fight a fucking lamp. It's a seriously evil fucking lamp, guys. So just understand, okay? But the little girl's all floating around with a knife. She's like, don't hurt my daddy. That's funny. And she stabs mom, right?
Right.
Doesn't she stab her?
Yeah.
And then the cord like turns into a snake and like wraps around the priest's arm and knocks him down to the floor. And grandma's like, fuck this shit. The one that didn't care about the family suddenly cares about the family.
Right.
And then fucking chucks it out the fucking window. And then the mom cuts the cord on the window because it's wrapped around the wrist of the fucking priest. And you're like, oh no, he's going to go out the window too. I'm like, please.
I know, exactly.
I don't think that lamp's heavy enough to drag him out the window.
Right. Well, it was evil lamp. It wasn't just a lamp.
Right. That's true. It's a magical lamp.
It's magical.
You see the lamp fly out the window
Into the ocean.
Yeah. It was like the rocks.
Yeah.
By the ocean. It's like this fake house that they built on a hill, by the way, in a trailer park that was overlooking the water. That they threw that out of. So there was never a house there.
I was wondering why that house was so close. It was like on the edge. I was like, they wouldn't have built that house for real, like right there on the edge.
Yeah, it just made it look like it, you know?
Yeah, it worked.
It's funny too because when you see the lamp bust on the ground, then the little girl is like, I had a bad dream, mommy. I was like, bitch, you fucking did a lot more than that. You fucking stabbed mommy, broke your sister's head, fucking, killed the fucking maid. Like, anyway, but at the very end, they show the cat all around the broken lamp bits and its eyes glow red. Like, I wonder if they thought someone was going to use this story for canon as like the later sequels or something.
Right.
And it turns out that the director actually intentionally set it up that way for a sequel, but they didn't fund him on it or make another one with using that as a thing.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. Funny story on that, guys. I was gonna make a fucking fake documentary about this. Because
you should have.
I know, but I didn't have time. That's just a lot of work. It would have been fun, but I would have spent 10 hours looking for video just to fit an hour or like a minute and 2 fucking fake commercial documentary. But like, I made a post about it, about us watching it. I said one of these really pissed me off, and then my buddy said, which one's the possessed one? The possessed lamp one. I was like, that's part 4. And he's like, that movie is certainly something. Haven't seen part 5. This is my buddy Nick, by the way. He's like, I haven't seen part 5. Does the cat at the end of part 4 return of 5? And I was like, I explained to him, that it didn't. And he's like, that's a shame. Maybe the cat from 4 wanted too much money to go back to the role. And I was like, well, odds are he probably let the fame get to his head after the 4th one was done. Pepper was the name of the cat. And I was like, Pepper thought it was a shoo-in and told everyone they were going to be a star. And then when 5 rolled out, Pepper turned to heroin, was never seen again.
I think it would have been an awesome documentary.
I know, right? I was thinking about it. I was like, what if it was like, yeah, I was going to be the owner of the cat. I was like, yes, I'm Pepper's owner. And then like talk about how things got really progressively worse as Pepper, got it really excited about being in another movie and was going to be a movie star. It's going to be the next big Garfield and all this other shit. I never did it. Damn it. One day we'll do it. Don't steal my ideas or I'll fucking call you out, you piece of shit. Anyway, we do have another movie that we're going to talk about that is the one that succeeds this one, but not in quality. And that is the Amityville Curse, aka Part 5.
Unaware of its dark past, a couple decides to buy the Amityville house to make a profit. However, as soon as they start to renovate the house, supernatural occurrences begin to happen. Just for the record, I did not write the synopsis. This is the actual one for the movie.
Yeah.
Which makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, I'm bored already too.
I know, right? There is a tagline for this movie. Just when you thought it was safe to go back home again. This is stupid. All right.
Sorry. Yeah, not sorry.
Okay. This was directed by Tom Barry. He also did a movie called Twin Sisters. And he produced TV films such as Zombie at 17, Pretty Little Stalker, Decoys, and Arctic Blast.
Decoys. I have that movie.
Oh, you do?
I heard it's pretty so bad it's good, so I'm kind of curious to check that out.
That makes sense. Okay, we have four writers for this movie. Four.
Okay, well, that's probably part of the problem right there.
Yeah.
But they probably are also crediting people who, you know, what it's based off of or something, you know?
Hans Holzer, it says he did the book.
Yeah.
He is an Australian-born ghost hunter. He also wrote Amityville 2 and Night of Dark Shadows. Michael Kruger has done Night Vision from 1987 and Mind Killer. Oh, and Lone Wolf. Doug Olson, also Mind Killer and Lone Wolf. Novell.
Mind Killer. I got that. I think they just put that out on Blu-ray.
Oh.
I have it on VHS.
And finally, we have Norville Rose, who did a movie called Tanner Point and Mind Killer.
Oh,
so obviously these three people work together all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's lots of cast in this movie, so I'm just going to try to sum it up, like, quick. Okay, we have Kim Coates, who plays Frank. He was in The Last Boy Scout, Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor, Resident Evil Afterlife, Battlefield Earth, and most currently he was in the Van Helsing TV show.
Nice.
Donna...
Wasn't he in, didn't we talk about that he was in the Fantasy Island movie too?
Oh shit, he was.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was like waiting for that one.
I didn't want to say it because this is fuck that movie.
Well,
there's better movies.
He's been in some bad ones. He's been in some good ones too.
Right. Anyway, Donna Whiteman, who plays Debbie, hasn't done much, and this was her first movie. She has had some random roles on like Men Seeking Women, like just TV shows. Helen Hughes, who plays Miss Moriarty, she was in Tommy Boy and Billy Madison. David Stein, who plays Marvin, was in Hang Fire and The Moderns. And Cassandra Gava, who plays Abigail, she was in Conan the Barbarian and Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis.
They called her Happy in this movie, but they didn't in the credits, so it's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Did you find out a budget on this one?
I did not. Did you?
No.
Okay, no. I just
There's
thought...
barely any information about this movie because most people are pretty upset with it.
I wonder why.
Well, what did you think of it?
I thought this was a shit show. This was an absolute shit show. I thought the other movie was kind of bad, but oh my god, this was just like worse. It really was. This had nothing to do with Amityville at all, except it was in the town.
Yeah.
It wasn't the house. It wasn't anything. It wasn't the entity. It was confusing as fuck. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea how these characters knew each other. I had no idea if they were working together or if they were just friends. Well, obviously they were friends, but I didn't get that feeling that they were friends. And it just had like like a typical type of premise where it was like stuff was going on and nobody believed. Everyone thought each other was crazy type of deal.
And there was these elements that were in it that were like, what? Like, why is this in here?
Yeah, exactly. What is going on? And it was like they were trying to make a clever story, but it just never happened. It didn't like get pushed to that, like, oh, this is a smart movie. No, the acting didn't help either.
Yeah.
It just made the acting and the storyline was just no. And this was the longest, stupidest ending.
Oh my god,
Dude,
it was pretty bad.
This is like a 20-minute like ending to a movie, and I was just so mad. Like, I don't even want to give it a 2.
You know what it reminded me of a little bit is one of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies.
Mm-hmm.
The one with Bill Moseley, who plays the guy with his bubble hat, like Frankenstein. Which Bill Moseley did the role well. It was just the story that was terrible. So you gave it a what?
2.
2 out of 10. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't want to give it a 1 because I mean there was funny moments, but
no, I mean that's fine. That's fine.
But it was worse than the first movie. I don't know. I didn't like it. What did you think? Did you like it better than me?
Well, I mean, have you guys ever wanted to punch a movie? Well, this is one of those kind of movies for me. I literally clenched my body and fists at moments of this movie. About half of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I seriously was just getting frustrated.
It was frustrating.
And I don't mean to say this has any good parts to it, because it doesn't. When I say half the movie, it was because half the movie I spent struggling to fight the clinching, and then the half it was punching the TV.
You better not punch that TV.
Well, of course not. But I'm just saying, that's how it was getting me really riled up. It's a jumbled fucking mess of a movie with characters that really don't make sense, or ones that you'd even really care about. It's like the movie seems to think that it's like super clever by taking a franchise out of the house into a brand new house and then doing something so different with it that even a lamp makes it seem like it's a good idea.
Exactly.
You know, like to be, I don't know, unique, I guess. Which, why would you take a demonic franchise and try to make anything other than that?
Right.
It's like, this isn't even really about like some demonic thing, guys. Which is even more depressing, and I don't want to spoil it for you in case you want to watch it, but isn't that what people have always signed up for when they watch the Amityville?
It's supposed to be a haunted house.
Right. It's supposed to be about this creepy fucking house. Also, it's incredibly obvious what will happen. Like, I called it from the very beginning of the movie because one of the characters is so fucking obvious about it. I literally called this movie within 10, maybe 20 minutes of the movie. You
totally did.
There's like some paranormal shit in it, but like not nearly enough. And once you find out what this movie is about, it won't even matter anyway, because it's not paranormal at all. Well, sort of it is. It's like the backdrop for this story that they had that they wanted to cram into the Amityville franchise somehow. Mm-hmm. Like as if they had a script and decided to loosely make it about the Amityville just because they got a cheap deal on the name. That's what it felt like to me.
Totally.
I'm honestly upset for watching this, like, but even still, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, which is sad, you know, like, that's sad. That's just, I don't even know. Like, not even so bad it's good kind of bad either. Like, it's very light gore, very little congruent acting with one another. Like, they didn't even relate to me. They didn't even seem like they belonged together as friends. They weren't believable in that. They didn't really explain what their fucking business was. There's one psychic and like all these different weird characters that make no fucking sense whatsoever. And they keep whipping around the story so much, and it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I think some of the shots were pretty good, at least in the beginning. Like, there's this one scene with the cross falling off the wall and shattering on the ground. Mm-hmm. Well, there were some really good shots. I was like, okay, this could be good because of the shots that they made in this movie. I was like, okay, it looks kind of well lit and it's like kind of dark and like creepy. Mm-hmm. Music was really good. I thought the music was either a throwback to one of the earlier movies or like,
oh, I remember you saying
or
that.
something that's along the lines of, you know, trying to play within the note structure of the original song. So I don't know if they licensed music from one of the original ones before, but I don't know. It was the best part about the movie, really, genuinely.
Wow.
Usually I'll watch just about every movie in a franchise when I go to watch these again, you know? Mm-hmm. But I honestly think I'll skip this one.
Right.
Like, no joke. I'd heard that it was kind of bad, like from Kyle. Uh-huh. Kyle Laugh told me about that, and I barely remembered seeing this, and this might be the reason. It's because it was so bad. It's so forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, it might be the reason why Vinegar Syndrome didn't include it in their box set, or maybe it's because they have some weird rights issues with whoever owns it. Maybe the producer, whoever put it out, doesn't want it to see the light of day because it's so bad.
Right.
I don't know, but it's terrible. It's really bad. And if you want to subject yourself to torture of the viewing kind, all you have to do is go to Amazon Prime if you have a subscription and watch it there.
Right.
But I'd say probably 2 out of 10. Fuck you.
Oh, same as me. I'm glad
2 middle fingers up.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's pretty bad. I mean,
I don't even want to talk about it. Like, that's
I know,
how bad it was.
But we're going to talk about it because, you know, we got to give it the just desserts.
The gist of it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. What did you guys think? Are we being too harsh? Do you think that's too much, or do you really think it's that bad? Because I kept thinking in the back of my head, like, oh, you say it's bad, but let me see what it's like, because everybody always says.
Right. You should have your own opinion.
If it's not if it's not a 10 out of 10 these days, it's hot garbage, pile of shit. Like everybody always says that. That's why I was like, when me and fucking Josh Entner, I was like, please don't say that word. I hate that when people.
What did he say?
He called something like garbage, and I was just like, I hate that hyperbolic statement when people say it. Not him. It's okay,
right?
But other people use it way too much,
right?
And it just bothers me.
And thanks, Josh, for listening.
Yeah, he knows I don't give a shit. We disagree on a lot of stuff and still are cool.
That's good.
Some stuff we really agree on. So, and I think it's like, what was it? Color Out of Space that we like. We're both in love with it.
You bros. You Lovecraft bros.
Whatever.
No, it was good. I still haven't watched that again since I saw it.
I know. I
want to watch it again.
I would like to. I wanted to give it a little bit of air because I
Right.
watched it twice.
Right.
So I need a little break. We still need to get fucking.
We have lots of things to watch.
We need to get that other movie, Underwater, still too. So.
Oh yeah.
We're like talking about other things because we don't want to talk about this movie.
We're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid to talk about the curse.
Oh God. Anyway, let's get dragged back into the non-house of the Amityville Horror.
Come on, let's do this. Let's be quick. Did you find any trivia?
Yes. I found a little bit of trivia, but not much. And if you guys don't want all of this wonderful movie spoiled for you, then here's your warning. First of all, this is a Canadian-made straight-to-video in 1990. Came out May. This is one of the movies that has had some release issues, and I'm not sure why. Because it's such a great film. But it did get like a Region 2 DVD, but that's it. And now it's on Amazon Prime, and I think it was in HD, right?
I think so. Is that where we watched it?
Yes. That was when I saw it pop up, that's what gave me the inspiration to start doing these movies again, because I was like, holy shit, it's up on Amazon Prime. We better do it now before they take it down.
They need to take it down.
They need to take it down for society.
Yes.
Yeah. This is for test experiments only on fucking on chimpanzees. This is the movie that the apes watched in fucking 28 days later that drove them insane. Also, this film is loosely based around, you said already, Hans Holzer's book, The Amityville Curse. Mm-hmm. So he did that one.
It's loosely based.
Loosely,
That's a good point to make, because I would actually, it might be, maybe I should read the series.
No, you might hate it even more.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you were into it, go for it.
See, I'm thinking I might like it more, because I like the kind of haunted.
You like the Damien ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Some of the scenes that we're going to talk about in here, there is a priest who's conducting a confessional while someone lights a cigarette and shoots him through the other side of the confessional after telling him something scary. Like you can hear him whispering something.
Right.
And all you see is the killer's feet walking away.
His boots.
And they trapped him inside with the like weird priest thing.
It's one of those flags. Isn't it one of those flags?
It's like a bishop's cane or whatever, where they hold it up. It's got the cross on it.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck it is. It's maybe his weapon. It's his,
just in case the devil tries to enter the church.
Yeah, that's his battle fucking staff. He's a battle mage. Level 10.
Do they have different levels? They have different levels for priests,
there's
right? There's
the
cardinal and the
pedophile. There's
horrible. That's horrible.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you made me think about, did you hear about all the nuns that COVID got into their coven and killed them?
What?
I think it was in Montana. Yeah, there was like 15 nuns that died. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to this crappy movie.
Okay, so they get rid of the confessional and store it in some house. Not the Amityville house. The house that these people move into to try to flip, okay? Just so happens that they happen to put it in this house for some reason, behind a fake wall that they don't even really express. And along with the piano that the priest plays, too.
Wasn't that the priest's house? I thought it was the priest's house.
I don't know.
They just moved all the shit in there because they didn't want to deal with them.
Yeah, but why would they move a
and
confessional?
They just abandoned the house.
Why would they move the confessional into his house? Wouldn't they just burn it since he was killed in it? Isn't it kind of an insult?
Well, how is it supposed to haunt the house if it's not in the house?
That is the logical step they made. But like, they're like, oh, he got killed in it. Well, we should just put it in his house. Like, he'll like that. Like, no.
Yeah, and then just leave the house abandoned, but try to sell it.
Well, it's got his blood on it. Would it be sacrilegious to burn it because it killed him in it? Or should we put his blood where his house was?
Maybe we should have fucking buried him with
this is Casey Kasem.
Oh, God, don't get me talking about Casey Kasem.
12 years later, a couple finds a house in Amityville for cheap, and they find out this. Well, they're going to the actual Amityville house to go buy it. Right? Isn't that what I've got the gist of?
That's what I was assuming as well.
Right. Because she's like, pull over to the right. And he's like, what is it now? And you find out that he's like, oh, you having a premonition? Like, and he's being kind of sarcastic about it, but apparently this woman is like actually psychic to a degree.
Medium, yeah.
Yeah, she's like a medium, but she has premonitions. And so he buys that house because he thinks it's a good sign. But it's too bad that she didn't see this movie coming because she probably should have left that house and never been acting in this movie. Huh? Also, does that guy remind you of George Costanza?
Totally. It's like his brother or something.
I swear to God, dude, he looks and acts just the way he talks.
Yeah, he acts like him too. I wonder if he was like an inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
I think he's just probably from the same area.
From
New
York.
Yeah. But they and a few friends all of a sudden show up, or I don't know if they're business associates. I was so confused at this point. And we've gathered that they're fixing up the place to sell it, and he and his wife finagled them into this deal where they're going to flip the house and then get a percentage of it after they sell it. Mm-hmm. Because they can make a lot of money. But the power's off. They can't figure out why the power's off. They got candles everywhere. One of his wife, or girlfriend, I guess, sprains her ankle in a hole in the kitchen floor. And later she says she's got to go to the bathroom. And while they're all eating around the fire for dinner and like talking of memories past, she wanders off to the basement for the cat, I guess.
Yeah, she saw a cat in the hall.
Yeah, at first I was like, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'd choose to take a shit in the basement of a house that doesn't have power.
Right.
In a house I've never been in before, you know what I mean?
Right.
But nothing happens. She goes down there and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps feeling drawn to this basement. She even dreams about it. She had this dream where she envisions a confessional in the basement with like demon hands scratching kind of silly at the inside to get out, which at first I was like, okay, this is so schlocky. Like maybe they're going to go that route of like demon chasing them around the house. I was like, that'd be kind of cool, but they didn't do it. Mm-hmm. It was just a dream. And that same dude grabs her by the neck and she wakes up. Then there's this weird scene where Frank gets attacked by a dog. He's been acting kind of weird anyway throughout the movie, and this is why I called it. I was like, I bet you he's the guy that killed the priest.
Mm-hmm. You did.
And because I was like, I can't see where this story's going other than that. And then this dog and this kid keep appearing in front of that girl. Well, the dog comes in, bites his arm, they lock it out. It breaks through the fucking screen door.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a doggy door.
It goes like flying through the screen door.
Right. Well, it's probably trained to do that. But it bites his arm. And then they lock it out, and that's the end of that. Mm-hmm. They find a room in the basement this time where she was dreaming about, the one with all the piano and the confessional and all these the stuff that the priest had. And unlike the first movie, where that thick wall was like the doorway to hell, mm-hmm. This is just the doorway to all of the priest storage
all
stuff.
The stuff.
Yeah. Which apparently the priest is actually trying to tell the premonition woman that the guy's a bad guy. So he's not even really trying to kill her or it's any of this evil at all. It's just this Frank guy who's a fucking bad guy who's trying to fucking kill everybody because he killed his own father who was a priest.
Right.
Frank was the son of a priest who raped a woman.
Because that's what priests do.
And she had the kid, and then he grew up to fucking kill daddy.
Right.
And he's got all these fucking issues.
So, and then I don't understand, like, how was he not freaking out when he was in the house? Like, how did he not know that was a priest's house? That's what's in the back of my head.
Probably, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the priest's house, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but it's all just happenstance, circumstantial, coincidental that they're in this house, and Frank happens to be one of the random people that goes up to show up to fucking help. Like, what?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
There's a scene where, like, Frank's girlfriend, comes back and he's all drowning himself or trying to get rid of the voices, and he's like, the voices are back. He's like, I'm so scared, I don't know what to do. There's a psychic weird old woman that keeps entering the house and gets pushed, Mrs. Moriarty.
You're a feeler. That's
Yeah.
what she said. I was like, Jesus, I don't want some old lady call me a feeler.
You know what she reminded me of? Is that woman that was in that movie, the Kathy's Curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Kind of reminded me of that.
She was probably my favorite character. Was that?
She was
neighbor lady.
the only character in the movie, really.
Right.
Other than George Costanza's part 2.
I'm a psychologist.
Version 2.5. But she has premonitions. The other woman, the lady who's helping fix his house up, she keeps dreaming of 111 and what that means. And you find out later that it's the birthday of Byron, a man who hung himself. So, like, okay, why?
Who? Yeah, it's no sense. No sense.
Was Frank possessed by fucking Byron? Is that why he killed him or something?
They didn't explain it at all.
Then Happy takes a bath. It fills with blood, and she looks at her wound, and there's like mealworms in it. I was like, okay.
That's it.
And that's it. That's it. Like nothing. You just don't even understand.
She just bandages it back up, doesn't she?
Yeah, and then it's back to normal.
Yep.
Then the psychic Debbie girl dreams of the night Frank killed the priest who had sex with Frank's mom and gave birth to Frank, of course, that guy. Meanwhile, Frank back in the future, he's lit the basement with candles everywhere, leading to the confessional booth, and Costanza version 2.5 opens up the door and gets locked in. And then Frank shoots him.
That's it.
Through the confessional again.
Again.
Because that's his MO, I guess.
Another long scene and, not really explaining.
His modus operandi. Debbie finds him dead, and Frank stares at her and points the gun. He's like, together forever in eternity. And she slams her fingers on the keys by accident, trying to back up. And all of a sudden, he's like panics from the sound. Like, that makes no sense.
No sense.
Like, then she throws the paint on his face, which like melts half of his face off, which is terrible.
Thinner. Yeah, the paint thinner. It was paint thinner.
Was it paint thinner?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was a stronger form of like some sort of acid that like takes the paint off. I don't know what it was, but there was this one scene where he chases her and she slams the door on his hand and he pulls his hand through and the skin folds up.
That's right.
I thought it's pretty tame, but it was kind of gross in the same sense.
For what we've been watching up until this point. The
best thing in the whole movie.
Yes.
He like chases her around the house with this like very obviously bad practical effects face makeup, and like chucks a saw blade at his knee, which he screams like and pops it out. I was half expecting to hear
right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then just blood pouring out like a wine bottle. Seriously great acting by Frank here in this part, by the way. Some of the best I've ever seen. Okay, so there is this one thing that I got to give credit for this, okay? And I know that the guys over at Buzzkill Podcast always talk about this whenever there's a nail gun scene. It's like no one ever uses the safety. She uses the safety and pulls it back so she can fire nails at him. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't notice that.
Most nail guns in movies, they just aim and shoot. There's a fucking safety on the front that you have to actually push down in order for them to fire out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
I don't use the fucking nail gun.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
She actually pushes it down, though, while shooting them. First time I've seen that in a movie, honestly. Legit.
Oh, well, maybe this should bump it up to a 3. No,
well, maybe they would have put more thought into the movie instead of just that scene, you know? Like, But he like gets nailed in the twice, you said, right?
Yeah.
He gets hit twice and she's like, oh, he's dead. 2 nails, Alex.
Dead.
2 nails. But he's not dead, of course.
Of course.
Happy shows up and thinks Deb killed her husband, Frank, and he chokes her out, saying, till death do us part. Like, what?
Because, they just got married.
I don't care. That's a stupid.
Writing.
Stupid! I'm sorry, man. Whoever hears this, I'm so sorry. Like, it's just for entertainment value. I mean, like, we really didn't like the movie, but... God. This
makes me not want to watch a movie for the podcast again.
And see, this is why, when I've given movies a 4 that I wasn't really too fond of, it was kind of a slog of a watch. This is a real heavy one.
Question. So, is this it for the franchise?
No, of course not, Christina.
No.
Well, you don't know where it's going.
Can we watch the Amityville Island? Maybe that's why all these...
If we're going to watch that, we have to go in order.
Well, I know we have to go in order. I don't know what's next.
Well, there's other movies. There's 3 more that we have to do. Although we do have some movies that got sent to me to review, so I might have to do those first before we go back to the Amityville franchise.
Okay. I was just speaking in general. I wasn't speaking about...
I got some stuff from MVD and Vinegar Syndrome, so...
Okay.
And Arrow. So we got like a bunch of movies. So I don't want to sit on them too long and get them out a little bit. So I just got to pair them right. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, what did you guys think of this movie? I mean, you obviously, if you're listening this far, you probably seen this movie and you probably hate me for even suggesting it to watch it. I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't. If I seen it, I don't know if I have or not. I just can't remember, but it's terrible. And, I'm sorry if you watched it, but just remember, you've lived this hell with me, and that means something. You've lived it with Christina, your family now.
Oh, okay. Let's not do
and
this
when you hear your family,
and let's not do this again, okay?
Well, we're bound to have it happen because we're on a quest for fun. We'll be. You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be singing "Zippity Doodah" out of your asshole.
I'm on a quest to find a good Amityville movie.
Yeah, well, there's plenty.
That I know, so there has to be a good one in here somewhere.
Well, we got It's About Time. We got 1992, the Dollhouse one.
Ooh, Dollhouse.
Yeah, that was the last one I watched, I think, and I haven't seen any of them since. So. Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of what the one will be after that because then we can do 2 and then 2.
Right.
Because I don't want to do 3 in a fucking episode. That's a long episode.
I don't like doing 3 in an episode either.
It's too much.
Yes, especially when you're working overtime. I
really did want to like wash my mouth out or mind out after watching that last one with a better one. Because leaving it on that note was really bad.
It's bad. It's bad.
I really want to know what you guys think. If you've seen it, if you're brave enough to watch it, like, are you going to watch it? Are you going to waste your time with it? Will you suffer with me? Will you suffer for me? Prove yourselves. Fight to the death of your mind. Anyway, yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming by this week. We're going to be watching some new movies next week. I don't know what they are just yet, but we'll, of course, let you know early next week, whenever we do figure it out. I like to watch movies now on Tuesday so that I have all this extra time to put up like YouTube videos and do other things. So, we'll let you know probably by Tuesday what we're going to watch next. So keep an eye out on our social media, like Reddit. If you like Reddit, we're on Reddit. It's Beyond the Void Horror. So you can find us there. There's links to everything I talk about on the website and anywhere you find our stuff. But thank you guys so much for stopping by this week. And as always,
long live the void.